up, runt! Today we're gonna world build mechs.
But wait.
But that would cause the mech to collapse under the square root law. How would you get around that? Of course, you could always just go with technobabble, or you could
Nerd! Rule of cool.
What?
Rule of cool! Alright, so let's world build some mechs. Who doesn't like mechs? Nerds who love the square root law, that's who. But you're not one of them. You want to world build mechs. I mean, just look at that bad boy right there. Chef's kiss. I pray to Holy Iron Jesus for this guy. And speaking about faith and prayer, we're just going to take that scientific principle and we're just going to throw it out. Just kidding. We're actually going to use it to make this more interesting. So I'm a science fantasy writer. It means I like to take a little bit of science and a little bit of fantasy and slap them together in a hectic, chaotic mess that comes out into something I think is cool. And so when I'm world building, I either come at something from a concept perspective or a problem perspective. And in this instance, it's going to be the dreaded square cubed law, which is really kind of funny because I kept calling it the square root law and I had to do a bunch of editing to fix that. And so for those of you who are degenerate nerds like myself who didn't know what the square cube law and got educated through some Reddit post as to why we can't have nice things, then let me break it down for you Barney style. You see, the square cube law is the principle in physics and engineering that describes how much the properties of an object change as their dimensions are scaled up or down. The law is particularly relevant when considering mechanical structures and systems, aka why my 9-year-old's gamer tag is Godzilla Master 99. Yet instead of dunking on this with my rule of cool blast, what I'm actually going to do is try to use the rule of cool in partnering with the square cube law, as I think this becomes far more interesting than just ignoring it. But don't worry, I'm still dabbing at the feet of every mech in Armored Core 6. But seriously, if you haven't played the game yet, what are you doing here? Get off this. You don't have time to world build. You have a game to play. Alright, that being aside, let's move on. So we're going to start first with the rule of cool, I want mechs. Now we're going to take the problem of the square cube law. There are a couple of options here. I could either make some kind of sci-fi material, use technobabble, or just hand wave it away. Or I could draw on other elements that already exist in my universe. So for this, I'm going to concentrate down mechs into the region that I have called the Dominion. You see, in the Dominion, you have what are called spirit binders. See, the Dominion, unlike everyone else in the universe, has no moral quandaries when it comes to gaining power. And so what they have done is taken people and trained them through kind of shamanic arts, but with a twist. And the twist is that they don't give a damn and they're just going to take spirits and then slam them in technology and use them for effects, powers, and anything else that they want. Now, there's also materials called hexotics. These are materials that are made from basically the essence of the spirit world. I'm going to have a whole nother video on that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the idea of the square cube law and make that a fact in this universe. This is the reason all the other major civilizations haven't figured this out yet, either through ethical concerns, it's primarily ethical concerns, or having found other cool concepts to pull the rule of cool blast on. Alright, so here's what we've got. We've got a spirit binder, and they have to go out and find these massive primordial spirits. These can't just be small spirits that hang out in people's houses or at abandoned graveyards or at rave parties or whatever. These have to be big, old, chunky, beat the crap out of you by picking up a mountain and slamming it on top of you spirits. Now you might ask me, why can't we do that? Well, it's simple. Because I said so. But in truth, it's because I like putting a lot of limitations in my universe. I don't want anything to be too strong. Even gods in this universe are limited. Like, they can't even come down in a physical form and boss people around unless they want to get a knife to a back from a mortal carrying a grudge. And see, that's why limitations are actually interesting. It keeps gods in their place. Alright, back to mechs. Tangent over. So by using the square cube law, we're going to then force binders to use massive spirits, which are going to be insanely hard to get, take them, slam them into the bodies of these mechs. This will allow them to act as a power source, as well as getting around that pesky little law, as the very manifestation of this spirit is causing all sorts of strange, weird, and quirky little things. Same reason why exotics are so powerful and so sought after. They literally alter the rules of reality so that you can gain an advantage, and that's everything that the Dominion is about. Alright, so let's recap. You have two options. You can either deal with the square cube law, or you can blast it into non-existence with the rule of cool. Or you can somehow figure out a way to merge the two. Come up with a reason. I'm going to be making another video that's more in-depth, more slowed down, more methodical. It's going to be basically like this video, but more pulled apart, more examined. There I'm going to use the 3-question rule. It's a technique that I learned from a Reddit post. Link in the description below. Seriously, it's a great read. The proposed solution was a way to cover plot holes and to gain more in-depth and interesting ideas. And so there you go. Now go out, my children, ride your mechs into glorious battle, and destroy the square cube law fanatics. May the war be glorious and your ammunition never running dry. Oh yeah, also a quick plug for my channel. I'm a science fantasy writer. I mentioned that earlier, and so, I have videos over there, and also I have a link in the description below to where my books are on Amazon, but you can also go to Patreon, and for $5 a month, you get access to all the books, and you get to support me. Isn't that great? You're such a great person for wanting to support me. It's great. My kids thank you. They get to eat. I sometimes get to play video games when I'm not working too hard, and yeah, it's great. So, with that being said, bye-bye. Talk to you later. See you later. All right, have a good day. All right, bye. See you. Talk to you later.